Do you ever wonder, what if everything you thought was shame was actually sacred? Because maybe, just maybe, what you were thought to fear was meant to be felt. What you learned to hide was designed to shine. And if I told you that feeling turned on isn't dirty but divine, would that change the way your body listens to your mind? Have you noticed how some feelings knock quietly, at first, until you silence them so long, they start to scream? What if the scream was never danger? What if it was desire, whispering your throat through clenched teeth? You might already be realizing, or maybe a part of you is just starting to smile as it listens, closer now. Because the body doesn't lie, it only listens. And feelings aren't the enemy, they're the energy. Yes, arousal, desire, sensation. That's the language of aliveness. Can you feel that? Isn't it curious how people, they once said the earth was flat, until someone questioned their map? Could it be that your beliefs about shame, about sex, about being horny, they're never yours to begin with? Whose shame is that really? Was it a priest's, a parent's, a culture, a story passed down and down until it became invisible law? But law isn't truth, and silence isn't purity, and hiding isn't healing. So let's begin, shall we? Let's begin to remember what your body never forgot. Let's begin to rebuild a temple out of the ashes of guilt, and carve into the walls these new truths, with rhythm, with ritual, with right now remembering. Your arousal is sacred, your curiosity is holy, your pleasure is powerful, your shame was never yours, your truth is unchanged. Because what if the very feeling you suppressed was the one that could set you free? Now notice how beliefs bend when you speak to them differently. They used to say, this is wrong, but now we say, this is real. They said, you should feel bad. Now we say, I feel alive. They said it's natural, but nature screams arousal through every blooming branch in spring. Have you seen how the wild doesn't apologize? And maybe, just maybe, the most natural thing you can do right now is to breathe into that space of curiosity, that warm spark flickering where guilt used to live. And imagine now multiple examples: a breathless kiss without apology, a thought of desire met with a smile instead of shame, a mirror reflection naked, unafraid and holy, a memory that once made you recoil, now embraced as part of your power. Because there was never anything wrong with wanting, only the fear of being caught by someone who forgot how to feel. So how many times can you discover this truth before it becomes your baseline? What if every pulse of desire is simply your soul calling itself home? What if you stopped calling it dirty and started calling it divine? Do you remember what it feels like to feel good without guilt? You will, because now you're learning, and now you're installing, not with force, not with logic, but with rhythm, with metaphor, with something deeper than words. You're not just believing new things, you're becoming someone who believes new things. Someone who feels and doesn't flinch, who desires and doesn't diminish, who learns and lets go. And in doing so, you're not just rewiring your brain, you're redesigning your operating system, one line of code at a time. Install, I'm not wrong for wanting. I'm not dirty for feeling. I'm not afraid of my nature. I'm alive, I'm aware, I'm whole. And the shame was just static on a channel you no longer tune into. Because your signal is clearer now. Your frequency has changed. You've upgraded from fear to freedom, from repression to radiance, from silence to sovereignty. And it feels, doesn't it? Like the deeper you go into this, the more of yourself you recover. You already know what's happening. Parts of you are awakening. Old scripts are fading. New beliefs are being installed, and integration is effortless when it's aligned. So now ask yourself, how many more ways can you allow this to become your truth? Because your body is always known. Your mind is catching up, and your life is about to feel like it was meant to. Welcome back.